Let's go. What's up, everyone? Another episode, Bachelor recap, wild episode. Here with Allie and Ryan, as usual. How we doing after that crazy episode?
I mean, I was heated. I guess I kind of felt like that. It like took me back to like maybe like third grade bullying, but like they literally ripped Heather a freaking new one.
Yeah,
He starts crying. I was like, girl. And that was like literally within the first like 10 minutes of the episode.
I never watched Heather on Colton season, but it seems like she's actually like a pretty nice person too. Like, if they were ripping like Victoria like that, I'd be like, okay, that's fair for fair game. But like Heather, I mean, she just seems like and let's be honest, like she probably liked the spotlight, but like the producers and everyone around it had a very big hand in having her go. It wasn't like it was just her. Like,
yeah, I thinking back at it, because like when I was watching that part, I was like, yeah, like I can't really get mad for the girls doing that because they've been doing it to everyone like the entire season. And then I think about it, and there's no way she's like, yeah, I'm gonna come in like week 6 or week 7.
Yeah,
like she was basically thrown to the wolves by the producers because they just want, like, there wasn't enough drama going on, so they had to like basically shake the beehive, and she fell victim to it.
I just I agree, like she's new, so you can do whatever you want, but it's also like, dude, like none of this is gonna look good for you. That's the thing,
right?
Like, none of it, like that's what I feel like I'm just repeating myself every week, but like this stuff will all come out at some point, and like them like being rude to her doesn't do any good. And also, hey guys, just let you know, she's best friends with Hannah Brown, who is best friends with Matt and Tyler, Matt's best friend. So you're gonna see her, or there's gonna be a run-in with something. But also, like, these girls who are like, I just don't know, if he picks her over me, then what we had never. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter if he picked her over you. You're gone anyway. So what he told you in the past doesn't matter. Like, they kept saying, like, if he picks her over me, then everything he told me was a lie. Yeah, but it doesn't fucking matter because you're gone. So who cares? Like, and then Allie, you tweeted it during the show when you were like, Piper, you have a rose. Why are you freaking out? Like,
yes,
Piper was the most dramatic out of all of them, and she had a rose.
That killed. I was seriously like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, she's out here just like flipping out. This chick, she doesn't even know as she's holding her rose.
Yes. Yeah. And who else did anyone else have a rose, or was it just her? Because right, it was just her because Katie
was the only one.
Yeah. So it's like, you were the only person in this entire group who is safe, and you're the one who's freaking out the most. She's like, she kept saying, we were in a serious conversation. It's like, you get them all next week, okay? So you can have this conversation next week.
Yeah.
I will point this out, though, is that I think the two people who stand the biggest chance to win, or get proposed to, however you want to put it, Michelle and Rachel. Now, they might have been thinking bad things, but I don't think either of them like spoke out in like really mean ways like the other girls did. So
that was good for them. They should. Yeah.
And also, though, it's like funny how Janessa, or whatever her name is, like, she basically told on MJ, but then she was like the one like, then get the fuck out. Who the fuck are you? It's like, what?
Yeah.
She's so fake. She was by far the fakest one in that group.
She was. And nobody knew how to say her name. So like, why would she want so long?
Yeah.
Couldn't even remember her name.
For sure. So Heather gets sent home, honestly. And also, I'll say this, like, dude, Matt is a bachelor, and if you keep throwing in new people, new very good looking people, it's human nature for them to want the newer thing. That is just human nature. So like, these girls, and also like, these girls act like Heather coming in is such a big deal, but also they're completely okay with going on a group date and him making out with 7 other girls, and then you being the 8th girl and you still make out with him. So like, what are we doing here, ladies? Like, what are we doing here?
And it's like, they act like they didn't sign up for this. Like, I'm pretty sure this is how like all the Bachelor, seasons have gone.
Talking about didn't sign up for it, I'm gonna skip ahead just real quick, but like towards, I think it was like the end, or no, it was when we're skipping way far ahead though, but it's when Piper gets sent home and she's like, I laid my heart out for it, I did this, I did that. It's like, it's the fucking Bachelor.
Yeah,
what did you think was gonna happen? Like,
literally.
I
And then
don't like.
also at the end of the day too, like that they've still only known him for like maybe a total of like just like her one-on-one time with Matt was probably totaled like maybe 12 hours tops.
Yeah, so like when it's like okay, and then like I think we all can agree, like Heather and Matt have met before, like maybe not a lot,
Yeah.
but like they've been in the same room before, so it's like
Yeah.
Heather might have half of your one-on-one time that you have with him, and she just showed up today, so like like you said, you have not been around each other like that long. Like, let's stop acting like you
Right.
guys have been in love and
Yeah.
dating for so long. Like, I know that you guys are probably have started to get feelings, but what I find is odd is like how you can just like turn to the girl next to you and be like, yeah, we're best friends. But then like a new girl comes in and it's like totally different. How's that? Like, it's not really that different.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're all still competing for Matt.
Exactly.
His
Exactly.
bug eyes. Like he really was bugging his eyes last night. Like every time I looked at him, his eyes were like
So that that like Mr. Incredibles dude with the blue
Frozone.
yeah. So someone posted that meme. I can't not see it now. Like every time I see Matt, that guy pops in the back of my head.
Yes.
It's so funny. But so who got sent home? Honestly though, this was the one like every time someone got sent home, especially how they kind of handle it after I've kind of been like, okay, yeah, I get that. Like Katie, I was like, I felt bad for her, but I was like, okay, it was your time to go. Everyone else was like, okay, you've been a huge bitch. I've been waiting for you to go. But
Yes.
when Abigail got sent home, though, I was like, damn, that's sad. Like the way she was talking in the car, like her little quote of like, men always find what they're looking for after me. I was like, because it looked like she felt like that was like straight from the heart, nothing on a reality TV. That was actually her just speaking. And I was like, damn, that's sad.
So
And that had
there's
to
a
be
few
so
things.
painful too. Like he was telling her, he was like, well, I didn't take you on a one-on-one because I thought we had such a strong connection. But then I found a stronger connection with other people because we never had a one-on-one. And that would hurt.
He should have never have said that.
No.
Never have said that. Because that was just basically like, I liked you maybe the most from night one. And I just thought that night one was going to carry you till I needed it to. And I started dating other people and I liked other people. It's like, huh?
Yeah, like that was painful for me. I got like secondhand sadness from that.
Yeah. So there was I was starting to laugh at not it was before that went down, but like so Abigail on last night's episode was like a roller coaster of emotions. So she went from saying like I don't know where our relationship is, and then she got reassurance by getting a rose. Then she said, I'm so confident of where our relationship is going. And then she didn't get the one-on-one. And then she said, I'm just trying to figure out where Matt's head is at. And this is all within like 20 minutes of showtime.
Yeah, but everything she said was kind of on point though. Like she like going into the rose ceremony, she was like, I don't know where we are. I don't know if he'll pick me. Which I think in his head, he didn't know if he was going to pick her either. He ends up picking her. But then she basically said, though, going into the next one, she thinks she won't get a hometown date without a one-on-one date. Like she said that. So like, I get with what you're saying, but like, I think she was like spot on. And then they talked and like, basically what he said was because we didn't have a one-on-one date, I haven't been able to develop more of a connection. So like, she was pretty spot on.
I was getting some Sarah vibes from yesterday.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I kind of understand like where she's coming from too, though. So Abigail, so Sarah, I kind of just was like, okay, she's being fucking dramatic. And
but Sarah was like 2 days in. Abigail was
That's true. That's true.
Abigail was like, I mean, she's been through the trenches, and also like, you made it to a final 6 or 7, and you're the only girl in the final 6 or 7 who never got a one-on-one date. Like that's
what even sucks more is that Serena got 2.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it even worse. Like she got 2.
Yeah. That also was such an awkward date. Like I don't know why he picked her still after that.
Okay, let's get into that date. She sucks.
Yeah, she does suck.
Serena?
No personality.
Yes. Matt or Ryan, you ranked her number 4 because obviously she's in the hometown dates, and I couldn't agree more. When she sat there and she was like, I'm not a openly affectionate person, it's like, who fucking cares? Put your smile on and do it for Matt right now.
Yeah, that's sort of
Yeah.
like I was thinking this. Like that's fine. Like if you're not openly affectionate or like you don't like public, like do it in public, that's fine. But you can't kiss them like one time because he tried to kiss her during when they were stretching and then she like pulled back.
Yes.
I was like, hold on, like that's a giant red flag to me. So
Still picked her. I kind of was like, what? Like,
I didn't think she was gonna get a rose.
I didn't either.
So yeah, and also her being like, I'm not like passionate in public. It's like you're on the fucking Bachelor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not just dating some rando from your high school that you fell in love with when you were 16. You're on The Bachelor. That's on TV every night with millions and millions of people watching it. Like, come on. Like, you know what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, honestly, when she said all that, like, I was shocked. I honestly don't think she would have been picked if Kit never left. Or no, she got the rose, didn't she?
She got the rose. She got the one-on-one rose.
That's wow.
I don't think Bree would have gotten a rose if Kit would have stayed.
Yeah, I feel like Bree hasn't really. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's just insane how like they go on that date and like I felt Janessa or whatever her name was, like their date, they were way more connected than Serena and him were.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, like, maybe the producers like cut scenes from Serena's date and like there was more passion. But from what we saw, I'm like, I don't know how he picked her. I seriously still don't.
After listening to Matt's one interview on Chicks in the Office and him saying like how he wishes like they'd show more Kit, they show more this. It like every time stuff happens, it like makes me think like we're not definitely seeing like the way the producers made that date seem like was all like, okay, this is drama, this is that. Will he pick her? And then obviously he picked her, so it's like, okay, maybe that was just like a very small dosage of the date, and the date actually went very well. So
yeah.
But then, so let's go to the group date. So Kit.
It was better than bowling. I can tell you that.
I'm trying to remember, what did they do again?
It was just drinking.
I was gonna say, didn't they just hang out?
Okay.
Yeah. You must hate bowling, right? But they it was interesting because they all kind of talked one-on-one and like they all had the same, feeling. And like I get them thinking like, I hope he picks me, but it's also like all you girls know he like the only one who I felt handled themselves was Michelle. Everyone else was like crying after. Kit was a little funny. I guess she was making little jokes and then she took herself out of the running, obviously. But like Michelle like handled it, but all the other girls were like crying and stuff. It's like, coming into this, he can only pick one fucking girl. Like, why do you guys all think like I feel like these girls, I don't know if you guys watch Surviving Barstool, but like none of the contestants ever watched Survivor. It's like, you morons, you should watch Survivor. I feel like none of these girls have ever watched The Bachelor because it's like everything they do, that's just like, wait, this happens? Like,
yeah.
They
probably haven't. They didn't know who Heather was. And I'm kind of like, she's only from like a couple seasons back. Like
only one girl did. Like one girl was like, oh, she's from Colton's season. Everyone else like, who is that? Who is that? Also, like, wouldn't you just know because of Hannah Brown? Like Hannah Brown's pretty popular.
Yeah, famous, really famous.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So he picks Rachel and then they go on like kind of a one-on-one date after that.
I thought that was kind of a slap in the face move though.
Yeah,
I like that. I kind of liked it.
No, I didn't. I agree, Allie. Like it was all these girls' names are I almost called you Rachel, Allie. I thought Rachel. The same thing. I thought the same thing too. Yeah, what a tough time to be Rachel. But
I know, for real. Don't cancel me.
Her name's Allie, not Rachel. I promise, guys. But I agree. I agree with you on that though. Like that was kind of wild because he's never done that, and like you can see these other girls crying, and then he's just like, "All right, yep, let's go." Like,
and they get like a one-on-one concert. Like that was intimate.
I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but Aloe Black, I think, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
dude's got an insane voice.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he really does.
Holy,
it was like butter, like smooth like butter.
Yeah, I almost sat back and just replayed it and like, this is soothing as fuck, man. Like,
yeah,
this is awesome.
They knew we all needed it after that episode.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that that group date rose kind of told us a lot, because if you look at who was in there, like, okay, so you have the two one-on-ones, Jasenia, or what, like you said, I don't know her name. She
Yeah.
did not get a rose.
Yeah.
And the other one is Serena, and that whole entire day was awkward. So we don't really know where they're standing. So then if you look at the group, like you have Michelle and you have Rachel,
hmm
who are the top two, and I think basically he gave that rose to Rachel. So I think that says a lot.
Also,
Where
this
he
is like the
stands.
most, speaking on that, this is like the most episode I kind of like, you kind of saw Rachel speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they always kind of went back to what Rachel was saying. And I thought that was very telling, especially after he picked her. Then they go on this one-on-one little thing. But also speaking back to Serena, she's like, this was basically sex with clothes on kind of thing. And she's like, our relationship isn't there yet. Like, do you guys think any relationships are there? Like, can Matt screw the girl? Like, do they stay the night? Like,
Yeah, they do. So after hometowns, there's the fantasy suites.
and that's
Yeah,
like the
so-
first time they all hook up.
Yeah. So her relationship better get there in 2 weeks. So
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna go through the 4 girls left. Rachel, she's putting out. Sorry guys, she's putting out.
Yeah.
Michelle, she's probably not gonna be talkative about it or say it, but she's probably gonna be in the sheets. Bree,
We might not. And
Bree,
maybe that's when she'll get cut.
you said Bree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think Bree will. So
I
then
think,
it's like,
I would think Brie would before Michelle would.
oh, I disagree. I think Michelle's very competitive.
I feel like she could be kind of a low-key freak.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly
She
what I
might
was
be.
thinking. I didn't want to say it. But that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking like, dude, she's competitive. Like, I definitely think like I said, she's not going to talk about it, but I think like after it, Matt would be like, whoa, okay. Like,
Yeah.
but then
Then I feel like Serena might go home after hometowns.
yeah, Serena or Bree, but then it's also like if Serena feels that heavy, we saw with Madison and Pete's season that like he's gonna hook up with one of them. So if Serena doesn't
Yeah.
like that at all, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, and he's not gonna pick you. Like Madison's
True.
Madison, so like she's like Miss America. Everyone wanted to pick her.
Yeah.
Serena, I'm sorry, but you're not. So it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough for you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough for you. But okay, so then the next one-on-one date, I'm just gonna call her Jay.
Yep.
I thought that day was kind of cool, drifting,
was
and
cool.
stuff like that. But I thought they actually got along pretty well. But as he's been saying a lot, like I think he has his mind made up on maybe like the top 2 because he
I think
keeps,
so too.
yeah, because like
I think he's got it to 1.
maybe, but we'll see. I think like Ryan, you pointed out, I think next week is huge for Michelle because I think that's the only one who has like contention with Rachel, and
Yeah.
maybe if we see more one-on-one with Michelle, then we'll be like, okay, maybe she does have a chance.
Right.
But I think Rachel's clear-cut favorite right now. But when he talks to these females, I think it's just like, so Serena had 2 one-on-one dates, and I think this last one took him back. I think she was going to get the rose no matter what because it was a second one-on-one date. So he kind of had her above the field. I think the second one-on-one date was kind of going to be like, can she compete with Michelle and Rachel? We'll prove it now. I know those 2 are good, but this one kind of took me back. So when he sent home Janessa, I was not shocked because it was like, you never felt that. And like, I think he does have a solid 2. So
Yeah.
what, do you guys like the date?
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of where I wasn't paying as much attention, but
Yeah.
she was going home. I was like, eh. He's
Yeah.
sending home.
I really wish Abigail would have got that date.
Me too.
I do too. I think she got the short stick that entire thing. I hope
That's
the
so
producers
true.
bring her back for something.
She could be
Like
the
that
next
Paradise,
Bachelorette.
whatever.
She could be the next Bachelor. I do think that like she would have had a better chance of maybe like swinging Matt's voice or opinion like more towards her. Like I don't think Janessa had any shot. I think it was just like,
Yeah.
all right, let's have fun, and maybe if like I really, 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 really like you, I'll keep you around for one more week. But like, probably not. But I think if Abigail would have went, it would have been like one of those like I mean, she probably could have pulled the heartstrings a little bit, and then it would have
Yeah.
been, damn, this would have been a tough decision for me.
And back to Abigail, she said that, "Oh, I was glad he was honest with me." But was he really honest? Because he pretty much like just like kind of drug her along for who knows how
Yeah.
many weeks, just because he felt he had a comfort level with her that he had with no one else until he did.
I don't
Yeah.
think he was that honest because it's like, dude, if you were being honest, you would have taken me on one-on-one date.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't. I just want to ever understand why he didn't ever do a one-on-one with her.
I wish he would have just never said what he said.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I wish he would just kept it as is, because like I felt like that was just even worse. It was just like, what? Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're
The knife was twisted in that moment. I was like, oh,
yeah, you're better
poor
than this.
Abigail.
You're better than this. But then moving on, Kit removes herself.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about that part?
I kind of like that about her. I think in that moment she knew that like he may have made up his mind already between who he wanted, and she was just kind of like, okay, I'm not wasting my time anymore, which I respect.
Honestly, she didn't remove herself. I think she could have made the fantasy suites. I think she had
Yeah.
potential for that. But I will have to say, every time the name Kit comes up on my TV and it has her age at 21, I keep forgetting that she's that young, because
Wait, she's 21?
she should be at Brothers
21.
doing Vegas bombs on Thursdays. That's where she should be.
Yeah.
But she's on ABC.
Yeah.
So I'm
for
like,
real.
what? You don't need to be doing this when you're not even out of college yet.
Yeah,
But
but like,
Expected that you get married, like
well, in her defense, she's been in the spotlight like her whole life. Like her mom's
yeah,
one of the biggest fashion designers in the world. So it's
yeah.
like she's been around crazy things. But it was funny when she was like explaining to Matt, like, I don't want to have kids until at least I'm 25, 26. That's 4 to 5 years from now. And you can see Matt's like, I think his eyes like kind of went back. He was kind of like, oh, fuck, yeah, she is 21. Like, like she's super
And he said
young.
what every other guy would say. "Oh, I'm just going to go with the flow."
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what everyone would say. So
But I do respect it because I do think at the group date, her thought process was, I feel like we are doing very strong right now. If he picks me, I think I do have a great chance to win this. If he picks Rachel or Michelle, I think his mind is made up on those two. So
Mhm.
instead of me getting dragged along, because like you said, Ryan, I do think she might have finished like third.
yeah.
And so she's just like, screw this. I don't want to wait another, like, my heart's kind of out of it now. That was my last string. I did like you, but now I'm gonna just go on my separate way.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we all kind of knew that he would have brought her to fantasy suites because, to put it plainly, I think he wanted to bang her. Like,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
She knew that, and it was just a matter of like, is she gonna bang him or not?
It was like the Victoria F in Pete's
yeah,
season.
Yeah.
pretty
Like,
much.
strictly like Kit's very good looking.
Yeah, he needed a
Small, she's
blonde.
21. Yeah, like it was like, all right, let's get her to these suites, and then you're
Yeah.
finishing third, and everyone knows it. And Kit, I mean, to her credit, because a lot of people would stick it out. Maybe it's because she doesn't really need the Bachelor to become famous or anything, and she's
Yeah.
already kind of probably made her name. But she was just like, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm gonna stay, or I'm gonna go home. So
Yeah, she was like, pass.
yeah, which yeah, like I said,
Throwing
good
to a
for her.
bone.
But yeah, it is why, like, Ryan, I'm with you. Every time it shows her an age, I'm just like, what is this chick doing, man? This is so young. Like,
There were a lot of young girls. Like, I mean, she was the youngest, but there seemed to be a lot of like 22 to 24-year-olds.
Piper was 23.
Yeah.
That explains her wild ass reaction.
Dude. She was so then let's move on to the final rose ceremony. And what, it was 4 roses for 5 girls because Kit sent herself home, and then
No, so yeah. So when the roses were on the table, there were only 2. Was that right? Yeah, there was only 2 because 2 of them already had
yeah,
roses.
okay. So there was 2 roses for 3 girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was Piper, Michelle
And Bree.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he obviously picks Michelle and Bree. So it's Michelle, Bree, Rachel, and Serena going on to the hometowns, which their families are actually going to the place, and they're going to meet out with everyone. But yeah, I don't know if you saw that in the preview for next week's.
Oh, I didn't even. But I guess that makes sense since they're
But
quarantined.
all the families, yeah, I bet quarantine, and they're all going to there, and then they're gonna have like one-on-one dates with the families at like these houses that they rented. But so he didn't pick Serena, and typical Serena fashion, like she storms out, doesn't even give him a hug, doesn't say like, "I
Oh,
hope
you
you
mean
find."
Piper?
No,
Or
Piper.
Piper,
Yeah.
storms
Oh,
out,
yeah.
doesn't say anything, and it was just like, for me, if I'm Matt in that situation and that happens, like Abigail, she was very thoughtful and she's like that. Kit was like, "I hope you find love," like, it was fun meeting you, all that stuff. Like when Piper does that, for me, I'd be like, "All right, I made a great decision,"
Yeah.
like that.
And
That
I
just
hope he was rewatching last night and saw her react that way when Heather came and was
Mhm.
like, boom, even better decision.
I will say this though. So speaking of like, we haven't seen Michelle but they had little bloopers after, and like they said, Michelle's like the funniest person they've been around. So she must be like a fun person to be around. But they haven't showed Michelle or Rachel kind of bully anyone. Do you think that like that is like there's a reason for that? Like they're like, we don't want to show Matt this and Michelle, or like I do think those two are probably nicer, but it could be like they don't show those two look as bad because I mean obviously they do a whole like
You're right.
because like during this whole thing like they're both in the middle of all of it.
I mean, like Michelle, like she's what 29, almost 30 years old, and she's a teacher.
No, I agree. I think Michelle, and also
That might just-
she was
Oh,
she was
true.
one of the new girls, so I don't think I think she wouldn't be mean to the new girls because she was one of them, and
Wait, Michelle was new?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
so she was one of the new girls, and Rachel like she doesn't like she seems kind of quiet, but I mean who knows? But like I was thinking about that, like maybe they wait to like let like Piper, like the last two episodes we've seen her like blow up, but before that we didn't really see that much of her, so it's like, do we wait and then it's like, okay, has she just been a bitch this whole time? Like
It could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Was she a new girl or was she there from the beginning? Because I don't.
there from the beginning.
Rachel was there from the beginning.
Rachel was everyone but Michelle was there from the beginning.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I remember that. I
So
never like Piper was just so forgettable to me. So that I was like, oh.
she was kind of like you didn't know who she was, and then like one episode appears and she's like, oh my god, they're falling in love, she's going on a one-on-one date, she's really
Yeah, on
high
a
up
Ferris
there.
wheel with them.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like, where the hell did this chick come from? I haven't seen
Yeah.
it in ages.
I think that's Brie now.
Yeah,
mhm.
where they're gonna make Brie look really good next week because we haven't seen anything about her for a while.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
This is going to be interesting.
Who do you think? This is purely just a guess. Who do you think has like the craziest family out of the four remaining?
I'm getting Serena P. Like, I just feel like there's something.
Serena
Crazy
said on
there.
their one-on-one date, she said something like, "Yeah, my sister is always very interrogating on my boyfriends." Like right then and there, I was like, "All right, she's got a crazy family."
Yeah. Well, then I saw the preview for next week, and Rachel's family sounds from like the dirty South. So who knows what
Well,
can happen out of
I
that?
don't know if with everything coming out, she is from Georgia, so yeah, she's.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the final episode where like what happens after the rose, because usually like Chris Harrison leads it.
Yeah.
And then he stepped down, so he's not going to be doing that. And that's when we'll see whoever wins for the first time. And like if it's Rachel, like I'm just wondering how that is going to go. Like,
So here's my theory with that.
Yep.
I think so. I think she wins because like we all saw it, like what came out like this past week, like Chris Harrison defended her. And like I want to say he put it like his career on the line, but he definitely stuck his neck out there for Rachel.
I think
if Rachel wouldn't have won, would he have done that? Like they defended her.
Yeah.
Like if she would have came in second or third, they'd be like, yeah, that sucks. He shouldn't have done that. But they kind of fought for her. So I kind of makes me think she wins.
I agree with what you're saying. And also it's like Chris Harrison, like right, wrong. I mean, you just need to shut up in these situations and listen. But like this is just social suicide. Like, no matter what you say, unless it's like, I'm sorry, it's not going to be taken okay, no matter what you say. So it's like anybody who like, you just have to shut up. Like, that's all you have to do, which like, I'm shocked Chris Harrison did it. And Ryan, that's a very good point. Like, maybe it's because they know, like, what happens every time someone gets picked? They go on these like media tours, like they're everywhere. And maybe now with everything coming out, no one wants to have Rachel on if she does win. So maybe Chris Harrison was sticking his neck out like, well, we're kind of fucked either way then. So I'm going to stick my neck out. And
that's a good point. That is a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about it. I think the only person who really has a shot is Michelle, and I think hometowns will see. I think Michelle's family is very chill. I think they're like her. I bet they're very laid back and like very
Yeah.
cool. I bet Rachel's family is like that very drunk Southern family that like parties, like like
Yeah.
probably somewhat rich, has like a lake house in Georgia.
Oh.
Like, you go there for the 4th of July, it's a great time, fucking party your ass off. Serena seems like, like kind of a crazy family, like the family that you go over on a first night date dinner and the dad is like asking you like how many kids you want and you're just like, yo, bro, I met her last week.
Can't
Bree.
even stop having sex with me. Like,
Yeah, your daughter doesn't even want to fuck me right
yeah.
now. and then you have Bree. I don't even know what to guess on her family.
Me either.
She's a wild card.
Yeah. We just haven't seen anything about her since that first one-on-one she was on.
And honestly, if you think about it, or at least when I think about it, there seems to be, and I'm comparing this to Pete's season, I don't feel any like connection with Matt and any of these girls. Like we're like, it seems like my opinion like varies depending on what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Like who's the leader, like who's not going to win.
I
Because
also think go on.
like if you think of like Pete's season, like I thought, well, besides maybe Victoria, I thought like 3 of the final 4 girls had like legit chances to win. Like they all like great relationships with Pete, and like this season is just kind of like, like I don't know, like I don't really feel anything.
I totally agree.
I think that's Matt's charm though, dude. Like I think he's just deep down, he's a player at heart, and he knows how to just charm the fuck out of these one-on-one dates. So after every one-on-one date, you're just like, dude, that was literally the same as last one.
Right.
Yeah.
Like because these girls are like, I think I'm falling in love with you. Like,
but
from what? Like, what did he do?
But I will say, like after watching Rachel and him dance to Aloe Black, like I kind of was like, all right, yeah, these two.
I think that was kind of the nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that was
like that whole scene. I was like, wow, I can't even believe he's doing this. Like taking her away from the group on a group date.
Yeah.
And if Michelle had like gone a one-on-one rose, then I'm like, oh, we don't know yet. But with like Michelle being the biggest threat to Rachel, not getting like, she just kind of sat there and cried.
To your point of connection, like I agree. I don't see any with Brie. I don't see any really with Serena. Like the only two I see somewhat of connection is Rachel and Michelle. And even this last episode, you were kind of sitting there thinking like, does Michelle have any of a shot? And then if it's not Michelle, it's like there's no one who can compete with Rachel.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So were there supposed to be that many girls going home? Were we supposed to go in the next Monday with only 4?
Yeah, that's normally how they do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was supposed to be like 5 or 6.
No, because hometown dates are 4 anyway. Okay. So it just, I mean, they, people just took themselves out of it for. I would have liked to see like Kit kind of stay around just because like I do think we started to see like a little bit of a connection with them. And even just a little bit of a connection, like you were saying, is like a lot for this season because like we don't fucking see a lot with any. So it's like the Serena date the whole time. I was just sitting there like, this is just awkward.
Yeah,
I know. I'm still so shocked she got a rose. Like I just like what?
I just thought that it was just awkward. And then also like the Janessa date, I was like, oh, this isn't really awkward. Like this is a good date. Then he just sends her home. So I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah, like we're all on this emotional like roller coaster.
Yeah, I keep falling victim to the because I think we talked about it last week how he always comes off as like whoever he's on a one-on-one with has like a chance to win or chance to get proposed to.
Yes.
I was watching Janessa's one-on-one. I was like, man, like she might have a chance.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't get a rose. I'm like, this is how the entire season has gone.
It's the laugh. It's the laugh, dude. He laughs at everything. So you're like, damn, man, they love each other. And then it's like, no, they don't. All right. So I think we all agree. I don't know, maybe not. Do we all agree we would pick Rachel right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Rank 2, 3, and then say who you think's gonna get off next week. Allie, you start.
Okay, I think 2 is definitely Michelle. 3, Brie, and then she's not gonna leave after whatever, the fantasy suites, because I just don't think Serena's gonna last very long. I don't know, just me.
Ryan.
I had Michelle, Bree, and then Serena. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Serena gets to win the third place sweepstakes.
I get that too. Maybe he wants to see her, be flexible,
Right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
she was pretty
in
flexible.
setting.
Yeah, she was pretty flexible. I would have to agree. I think maybe we aren't seeing, but maybe Matt already knows that Bree might put out, and we just don't know that. So Matt's gonna keep her over Serena.
Yeah,
To be
it
honest.
comes
Like,
down to that. Like, he knows who he loves, but who's he gonna get one last bone in with?
yeah, it's just like, I mean, Pete risked it all with Victoria F.
Yeah, Victoria honestly should have been sent home like 3 or 4 weeks before she actually
Oh,
did.
true.
He just wanted to fuck her. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's exactly what
props to him, but it's just like so I feel like, I mean, these guys are fucking, they're guys, they're idiots, they're dating 20 people at once. So like, yeah, I'm sure they have their mind on someone. Now, I think if Serena would put out, I think you would 100% keep Serena, but like, I just don't think she will. So it's like, maybe if Bree's the same way, I think if it's Bree's the same way, then I think Serena stays, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think, but it's a 2-horse race. I think it'll be interesting with the hometowns. Because it's weird because you're kind of confined in a house, like you're not going around their hometown seeing everything. So.
Right.
Yeah, their childhood bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But all right, that wraps it up today. We'll be back next week after the hometowns. Any last words from either of you?
Free Britney still.
Free Britney. I agree with that.
Yeah, pour one out for Abby. I feel bad for her.
Yeah,
Oh,
so true.
that was the first time I said it, man. That was the first time I was sad. I was like, damn. I had to stop, like, pause it, take a step, like, fuck.
I know.
Do I DM her and just tell her I love her? Like, damn.
Time to slide in.
That's let her DM. Yeah.
Yeah, but all right, we'll see everyone next week. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.